going on? Liverpool won.
Liverpool won?
Liverpool won with a W.
Okay, that's not what it sounded like. Let me tell you.
For goodness sake. Yeah, it's going to be one of those kind of shows, everybody. I've got Phil Blundell here. I've got Fuad Hasan there. We've got Spurs Man City right above our eyes, which we're absolutely not watching. No. But that's because we're here to talk about Liverpool.
Corner to Manchester.
Beating
Only messing up.
Brighton to go through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. I think the first thing we need to talk about, Fuad, is the team. And after me giving Arne Slot literally bountiful options of central strikers, he decided to mug me off completely and go with Szoboszlai up front. How do you think it went?
Yeah, you know what? I thought it went pretty well. Like, I expected a lot more of an unsettled period in that first half. It looked like both teams just stuck to how they like to play, and Brighton tried to play out and do their normal thing. We did the same. Both looked rusty at it. Both looked like they could be pressed and got at, which is exactly what you expect. But that meant it was exciting. At least it was something to see and something to sort of get involved in a little bit. And I thought Liverpool kind of handled it as well as you can expect. I never had high expectations going into it, so for me it was always going to be a case of look, just work your way through the game and score the goals, at the right time. Don't give anything away silly. But Liverpool seemed to do that. I thought like the Jones and Szoboszlai had a lot to do, didn't they? Yeah. They were both so high all the time, and then expected to fill back in when we lost it and Brighton went quickly. So it was a hard job for those two to do when everything around them was a bit unsettled. But yeah, I mean, great win in the end.
So the Brighton goalkeeper is definitely going to be seeing Jones and Szoboszlai in his dreams, because they both kept nicking the ball off him in that first 20 minutes. But Fuad's right, there was a bit of rust, and to be expected with that kind of team. Probably, arguably, the most experimental team we've seen so far under Slot. Tyler Morton obviously gets the start. We get a whole new a nearly all new back line with Robertson. But I think we're going to take this juncture to talk about the goalkeeper, because admittedly most of what he did was good and solid and what you expect from a goalkeeper, but there was that one wow moment, wasn't there?
Yeah, the save sort of is the cherry on his cake, because I think there's a good save first half when Lamptey goes through, and alright, he puts it straight at him, but he still comes out, makes himself big, gives Lamptey nowhere to put it. He still has to do the thing, even though it's probably not a very good finish. But his all-round game was good as well. He was quite confident coming for crosses. There was one mad punch where I don't think it quite went where he intended it to go, but he dealt with it and it fell to the Liverpool player and it was fine. But it was a stylistic thing that I was impressed with. It wasn't like we put someone in who was completely alien to how we play, and I think that's been the important thing when Kelleher is going for Alisson, is we haven't had to change how we played. It was the exact same with Jaros today. He was cool on the ball. He was happy to be pressed and feel a bit of pressure from the Brighton attackers when they came at him, and he'd make the right decision and he'd play the ball into the area where Quansah or Gomez or Bradley or Robertson would want it, or Endo or Morton if he was that way inclined. Everything he did was just really confident, and it was really nice to see, because most of the time you're playing your third choice goalkeeper and you're a bit like, oh,
Adrian, I mean,
don't really fancy this. I don't really fancy this,
yeah.
But he's come in there, and you can see why. I think he went to the Euros with the Czechs, didn't he? You can see why he won the Austrian League last season. He's clearly a very competent goalkeeper, and it's reassuring to know that if something happens to Kelleher, that he's there. And maybe this is something he's, in 2 years' time he's doing what Kelleher's doing now. You just don't know. It was really encouraging to see from him. Really happy with him.
Absolutely. And I think it's a real feather in the cap to the academy, the fact that nearly every single one of the players coming through, we can say that about them. We're not having to change how we play. They're happy to take all the same risks that Arne Slot expects of all his other players. And I thought Tyler had a really good game. There's some stats out that say I think he created most chances when he was on the pitch. He made most tackles when he was on the pitch. And the ball that he played over to Gakpo was it his first goal?
Yeah,
I think
it was
his first
one,
goal.
Yeah.
It's just exactly what the moment needed. And he can be very proud of himself on the train back home tonight.
Definitely. Your ideal situation when you're bringing in young players is that everything's settled around them, and you just bed one or two in to all your senior team essentially. So whenever these games come along, I always find it really hard to sort of judge these young players because everything's different around them. They're not coming into a settled setup,
it's not real football.
It's not. No.
YouTube Press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.